session of the River Edge Mayor and Council can come to order. It's Monday, September 23rd, 2013. The time is approximately 7 p.m. If we could all stand for a moment of silence, prayer, or reflection. And if Councilman Mignon could lead us in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chair? Let me... Oh, wow. Wait, let me sit. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by sending notices on December 21st, 2012 to the Record and the Ridgewood News, positioning notice on the bulletin board in the lobby of the Borough Hall, and filing notice of this meeting with the municipal clerk. I'd like to remind members of the public that we have 3 exits in the council chambers, 1 to the rear and 2 to the front. In addition, we are on the record being recorded both by video and audio. If a member of the public wishes to be heard and to speak or be seen, all they need to do is give us their name and address and ask a question or make any statement. Can I have a roll call, please, Judy?
Councilwoman Murphy.
Here.
Councilman Alfred.
Present.
Councilman Nicola.
Here.
Councilman Mignon.
Here.
Councilman Bartolome.
Here.
Councilman Papaleo.
Here.
Mayor Mascari.
Present. All right, we seem to have a pretty short agenda today. Nothing on the agenda for the borough administrator's topics. We have a work session consent agenda consisting of 2 items. One is to initiate the promotional process for lieutenant and sergeant in the police department. Alan?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. What we're looking for here is the initial okay to start the process, and by that I mean we would write the various officers who are eligible for the 2 ranks and give them a copy of the promotional ordinance and ask if they're interested, tell them they do qualify for the possibility of a promotion, and that if they're interested to sign a letter back to us indicating their intent to be considered for the promotion to the rank of sergeant or lieutenant. Once we have that, then we know how many are interested in the position. The chief and I can start to reach out to various professional associations or vendors who provide the different types of testing that might be required, and then we have an accurate head count to say how many will be involved in the promotional process. So this is really just to start that initial letter to go out and come back and then see where we are. The chief, I know, has already started looking into some of those vendors, but we would have to bring the chief in to report back to you. Obviously, there's funding involved to hire some of these outside contractors. We would have to discuss where those monies are going to come from, in order to start the process. So that's what we're looking for tonight, is just some...
Alan, just give the council an idea of what kind of test, what does the ordinance require regarding the testing requirements?
Well, there's the possibility of a written examination, an oral interviews by an outside contractor. The police department can provide an evaluation, and also a psychological assessment, and obviously there's also the interviews of the mayor and council. So before we go to any other level, then we would review that with you in detail and have you make if the ordinance says may, then you get to choose whether you'll have the psychological or not have the psychological. If the ordinance says there shall be a written exam, then obviously we're going to have to look to do a written exam and bring that as part of the criteria to you.
Okay. Well, we have had some retirements from the department due to attrition, so it would be I think we're down to 3 sergeants now, and we may be losing 1 or 2 of the 3 sergeants that we have in the near future, depending upon certain situations. So I would be in favor of initiating the process. I guess you'll need a motion.
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion to initiate the process.
Okay. There's a motion and a second by Councilman Mignon. Any further discussion? In connection with this matter, maybe it would be a good idea for our borough attorney to look at our ordinance and then to just give us a short memo as to whether or not he thinks the ordinance is sufficient as it is, or if it needs to be updated. There was an article in the record today or yesterday regarding issues regarding police promotions and the fact that we should have an ordinance that is specific as to, so that you remove as much of the doubt and ambiguity from the process as possible.
Sure. It's a good idea, particularly since the last promotional process got us into problems, so.
So we're including that in the motion?
Yeah, just to have Tom review the current ordinance for sergeant and lieutenant, and to give us his opinion on whether or not it's good the way it is. You should probably call Tom Hanrahan, who handled some litigation for us, who's very familiar with the lieutenant's ordinance. He may be able to give you some insight into whether or not issues were raised during past litigation.
Just one of the issues is whether or not, and discuss this with Mr. Hammerhand, objective testing in the ordinance. I don't know that it's specifically there right now.
Right.
So that's one of the issues we may want to
Very important.
really look at.
For lieutenants.
For lieutenant, yeah.
Yeah. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. All right, number 2, authorize the mayor, administrator, and emergency management coordinator to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the New Jersey Office of Emergency Management. Alan?
Mayor, this is something new that the state of New Jersey has come up with. It's a memorandum of understanding as to providing them with the information they need for the applications for various events, storm events. Tom Smith, our emergency management coordinator, attended a meeting at the academy where this was explained, and there's a software piece that goes with it that was demonstrated to him. What this agreement will do is name me as the point of contact for the application process for the FEMA applications after a storm event. And it will allow me to send this information in electronically. The mayor signs the agreement, memorandum of understanding. It lays out all the different obligations that we have, and that's they want it in writing. They want an agreement now. They want somebody named. I've always been the person who's been the point person to do the applications for FEMA, and make sure that we get our receivables back. So we're just trying to complete the paperwork here and be ready for the next one.
All right, so is there a motion to have us enter into the agreement of memorandum?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alan, can you give us an update on our FEMA application? Because I don't think you ever really reported on it as to...
I'd be happy to if you excuse me for a second. I'll grab the folder and can give you some numbers on it.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, we've gotten partial numbers, but not all of the numbers.
As far as the mayor's report, just to keep the council in the loop, tomorrow is at 11 a.m. is a naturalization ceremony at Newbridge Landing. It's a yearly event where new citizens are sworn in, and I've been asked, because it's happening in River Edge, I've been asked to
Attend.
not attend.
Officiate.
It's not officiate. It's
Be in the same
To
room
be
as
there.
everyone else.
it's to greet. I'm there to greet the new citizens.
The ambassador for River Edge.
And so that's tomorrow morning, and then in the afternoon I'm meeting with the executive director of the Mayor's Wellness Program from Trenton to speak about our program, because it's gotten a lot of steam in the last couple of months. and there are some grant opportunities involved, and we can coordinate our Mayor's Wellness campaign with other functions that are being handled by
The green team?
the Green Team, Traffic and Safety Committee, in order to promote the wellness campaign and possibly become a certified healthy community, and that would open up other grant opportunities.
I did contact Bonnie Stewart, so we have been communicating about the grants and any information she needs to go forward to process them.
And this Saturday are, I think, 2 block parties in town. One on Tenney and one on Wales. Just to let everybody know. Okay, that's my report. Alan?
Mayor, by July of this year, we had submitted 6 public work applications in various areas: protective measures, buildings and contents, debris removal. The total request that was submitted was $227,981.75. Keep in mind that FEMA pays 75% of that. The federal government pays 75%. The other 25% would come from the state of New Jersey, but they lack funding, so there's no way you're ever going to get the 25%. So 75% of that would be $170,986.31. To date, we've received, as of July, we received $89,524.98. And if there were a few other checks that came in recently to up that number, I can give you an updated number in a minute. Just going to see. Okay, this is August. 68656. So we're at about $111,567.22. In addition, I received the GIF check in September for another $14,627. So to date, we have about $125,000 received back from the storm event.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
Since I think we did an emergency appropriations to pay for it, so now these funds are back. Where do they go? Do they go to other trust? And if so, are they offsetting other costs, or are they simply something we consider when we do budget later on?
They go into a category called miscellaneous revenue not anticipated, because we did not anticipate this in our budget. That gets closed out at the end of the year to an account called operations.
Mm-hmm.
Operations is really the result of everything that went on during the year. If you have an excess in operations, that ends up in what we call fund balance. And then from fund balance, you're allowed to draw on that for surplus revenue in your municipal budget. So this.
And if we don't draw on it, then what happens to it?
It will stay in the fund balance account and build as fund balance or surplus. If you want to think of it as surplus money, it's surplus.
So, would I be correct in that if we left it in fund balance and we had another major event, we could draw from that instead of an emergency appropriation?
Well, when you have an emergency in 1 year, you have to draw on cash from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you either have to have the money in a fund balance or a surplus account to draw on, or if you don't have the cash, then you have to go out and issue emergency notes. You have to borrow from a bank to raise the cash to pay for the contractors. So this is one of the reasons why you want to have a healthy fund balance, so that if an emergency comes along, you can draw on cash rather than having to issue a note and then repay the note with interest. Now, the state allows you to handle the emergency in the year that it occurs, but the following year you must replace the cash that you used by including in the forthcoming budget a line item for that item. So while we had the emergency this year, in this year's budget, hypothetically, then in 2014, you'd have to have a line item to replace that cash and raise that money back. So if you don't have surplus money or insurance refunds or FEMA refunds offsetting that, then you're going to raise property taxes to repay yourself, basically.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks for the clarification.
All right, thank you, Alan. Unfinished business. Does anybody have any questions on the unfinished business list? No. I can only report to you on Grove Street that I spoke to Mr. Costa again, and he indicated to me that Mr. Grasso gave him a copy of his survey, and the borough has a survey, and the surveys do not agree with each other, which is responsible for the delay in getting a deed description and easement description. So he's working on deciding what he wants to do. I think the last time I heard, he was just going to rely upon Mr. Grasso's deed description. So that's where we are.
Do they differ greatly? Is it a big, is there a big difference?
I haven't seen the documents. I haven't seen the deeds or the deed description or the surveys, so I don't know how they differ. I don't know if there's a big difference. I would be interested to know about the title to the property behind Mr. Grasso. There's a property there. Does anybody know about it?
He's pulling the, he said he's going to do a deed search of all the surrounding properties.
There's a property there that has it's overgrown, wooded. There's a path that goes to a 4-foot fence that's broken down. Then there's an in-ground pool, and then there doesn't seem to be anything in the lot. Maybe it was a home that had once been there that burned down or something, but it could be a dangerous condition if a kid fell and cracked his head in the pool or something. Have to get our code enforcement guy to look at it.
In the newspaper.
What?
That was in the newspaper too, because there were kids that were legally skateboarding.
Skateboarding in it, yeah. They love cement swimming pools. The bus shelters are getting installed, slowly but surely. I don't think there's anything new to report on the HVAC system for Borough Hall, although we may want to consider, I think at one point when this building was when there were major renovations on this building once before, the borough obtained a temporary trailer and put it in the back parking lot, because there's going to be logistical problems that we all know about when we put in the HVAC system, where different employees are going to be temporarily displaced. And so maybe Alan would give us his opinion, or consider getting like a temporary office trailer, hooking up phones to it, doing call forwarding, putting it in the parking lot, so that if the HVAC company is in a particular section of the Borough Hall, the employees can work from a temporary trailer until they're back in again. I don't think it would cost a whole lot of money. And I think we would save money by not asking for bid quotes where the contractor would have to work on Saturdays and Sundays, because that would be more expensive. So think about it, Alan, and then give us your thoughts.
Yes, Mayor, if I may, we have a meeting on October 2nd with all the departments and the architect to try and come up with something, so it's a good thought.
All right, anything else? Any other unfinished business? Kathleen?
Just had a comment about code enforcement, now that you mention it. The little shopping center where the Asian market is, I was hoping that we could ask Mr. DeRosa to see if he can contact the owners to put in a garbage can up there. They have a shopping cart with a box that serves as a garbage can. So they're having complaints.
Okay.
That's it.
Any other old business? Any new business? Going around the table. Ed?
We had a green team meeting last week, and Bonnie Stewart's going to be putting together another capacity building grant application for $2,000. So I'd like to get an endorsing resolution from the council at the next meeting if we can.
Want to put it on the agenda?
Yes, for next week. if we can
Is
get
that
it.
in the form of a motion?
Yes, make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for an endorsing resolution for a green team grant through where?
Sustainable Jersey.
Sustainable
Yes,
Jersey.
yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good, Ed. Any other new business? Kathleen?
This probably doesn't go under this, but I don't know when I'll be able to make a comment, but I did get an email from a lady thanking Officer Zemedes and Sanchez for coming to the aid of her elderly mother on September 14th, and I just want to make that noted, that there was a very nice email about the help that they offered.
Okay, thank you. Any other new business, Kathleen?
Also, sorry, condolences to the family of Carl Etter. He was our recreation parks attendant, and he passed away, and tonight was his wake, and my condolences to his family.
I attended Mr. Etter's wake before coming to the meeting tonight. It was very well attended. And he will be missed by the Recreation Department. Any other new business? Kathleen?
I just want to remind everyone, this Friday is the Mayor's Wellness Campaign starting at NBC, 7 p.m., and to thank Anita De Silva State Farm, Optimum Orthopedics, Behavior Plus, Practitioner Solutions, Riverside Oral Surgery, and Marge Construction for their support. That's it.
Okay. Payment of bills? Ed?
Whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee. Now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $95,609.83. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to open the hearing to the public?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you. Okay, the hearing is open to the public for any member of the public who wishes to make a statement or ask a question. All they need to do is give us their name and address, and we'll take your comment. Mr. Grasso, how are you?
Good. My name is Lou Grasso, I live at 172 Logan Terrace, the owner of 840-846 Kinnickinnick Road. In regards to the Grove Street project that's underway, on the proposal for the parking, the way it's drawn, it would be one way coming up Grove Street and making a left to go onto the Paper Street and exiting on Lincoln. I think if at any point there was going to be shopper parking, am I wrong in that?
Yes,
I just looked at the arrows on the drawing.
that was a proposal by the engineer, but that's not, to my recollection, what was decided by the mayor and council.
Oh,
The
okay.
purpose in obtaining the easement is to allow the driver to come up Grove Street and enter a perpendicular parking stall, and then exit basically the same way down Grove Street, and come out of that stall. And
Oh, so Grove Street will remain 2 ways.
it'll remain 2 ways,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, and is...
With
there-
no exit, because it's unimproved at this time.
Okay,
Lincoln
so
that would
Avenue
be-
is unimproved.
I think what you're interested in, Mr. Grasso, is that another phase, once we get the parking up, if we sell those parking permits to the businesses, and then we see that there's a additional need for parking, we could have a phase two where we can buy some money or obtain some additional funding to remove the concrete, to enlarge the area so that there could be parking on both sides, and at that time, we could improve the easement so
Right.
that you could have cars. I think it would be easier for shoppers anyway to come in through the easement and then to exit down Grove Street.
I agree.
Right.
It's much easier from Kindercomack, people can see you go down
Yeah.
Lincoln, where to find the bottom of Grove Street.
To find the bottom of Grove Street, they have to go all around, yeah.
Right.
But we're not doing that in Phase 1. Phase 1, we just want to get some parking in there and see if we can get those permits sold.
Okay, so is there a drawing that shows the final plan?
Not yet, Mayor,
Not yet?
to my knowledge.
No?
Well, yes, Mr. Costa showed us a plan, because he came in with it showing the angle parking, and that's when I suggested that if we had the easement, we can get the 90-degree, because
Right.
the original plan was that angle parking, and then people have to come in, turn around, sort of like at a
Right.
U-turn. That's why we said if we were able to get the easement from you, they can have the head-in parking, because it requires them to back out, ostensibly over your property to get the head-in
Right.
parking. So he did have a layout showing the angle parking, so you can pretty
Yeah,
much
I
get
saw
a gauge
the-
for that.
I saw the layout of the angle parking, and then I have one with me that shows the 90-degree parking. But there must be one
I think
after that.
I think you're seeing his original master plan concepts and not the,
There isn't one after yours.
Okay, that's what I was concerned, because mine just shows arrows showing what looks like a flow of traffic up Grove and out Paper Street.
Yeah, but that's for,
that was the master plan
That was the
built,
master
that
plan.
wasn't the, this, like phase one.
and I agree with you that the flow should be the other way around.
I agree too.
My other concern was, and I can't tell from that diagram how wide, the way it's going to be done, where you're going to leave, for now, leave the cement there, how wide is the road going to be with the parking there? Is it going to be sufficient for, a truck or something goes up there?
Truck?
Yeah, because I have
This is when you're
two
talking about
garages that I rent in back.
No.
and
Rock has
I don't
one.
know if the street doesn't appear like it's that wide.
Basically
If
just
there's
showing-
90-degree parking. I was
Angle.
curious what the width would be remaining in the street for traffic.
All right, we'll have to...
It sounds like it's going to be pretty wide.
Yeah.
You're saying I didn't realize it was Grove Street was still going to be two ways. That sounds good.
All right,
Okay,
thank you. Anyone else? Can I have a motion to close the hearing to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, nothing on our closed session agenda. We do have a very short special meeting regarding an emergency appropriation that we are going to convene directly after finishing our work session. So if there's no further business, can I have a motion to adjourn the work session?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Thank you. Okay. Now we'll call the meeting to order for the Monday, September 23rd, special meeting of the River Ridge Mayor and Council. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Rowland.
Here.
Councilman Cortez.
Present.
Councilman Secola.
Here.
Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilman Bartolome.
Here.
Councilman Capoletto.
Here.
And Mayor Mike Garafolo.
Here. All right, there are two resolutions on the agenda, 13352 and 13353. 13353 involves the clean-out of the the storm sewer at, on Voorhees. 13352 is a emergency resolution to appropriate sufficient funds for the project. Any discussion on these resolutions? Any questions? Ed?
Just to clarify, Alan, this was just, we're adding the 21,000 for the expected disposal costs in addition to the cleaning. This is what this was for.
We have the $20,000 in place. This would add another $21,000 on top of it for the disposal and tipping fees related to it. Once we get the final bill, and hopefully it's before the end of this year, with all the billing and everything, then we can come back and cancel out whatever portion of the emergency is not used, so it doesn't impact the 2014 budget.
That's a lot of money for disposal.
Yes, Mayor, we had two quotes, one, I think, $235 a ton, and one, $135 a ton. Sewer Subcommittee reviewed both proposals to do the cleaning. John Lynch had estimated at least 75 tons of debris, but, I'm sorry, it was 265 and 135. But the debris that comes out could be weighted due to the water because it's not going to be dewatered before we get it to the landfill to be tipped. We're really not sure how much will come out of these pipes, so it could be well beyond the 75 tons. The weight of the water could add to it, so we want to make sure we have enough to get the job done. We did go back to the other vendor to see if he would come down off of the 265. He would not. So we're recommending a little bit higher cleaning contract with the lower debris removal, thinking that most of the costs will probably end up being in the debris removal side.
All right, do we have to pick a vendor tonight?
Yes, we have a contract, the second resolution would award a contract to one of the vendors. The Costa Engineering went out and obtained two quotations. They went to a third vendor who did not respond. So we do have two quotes on this. The contract is being awarded on an emergency basis, so this is why we're really not held to the standard of bidding this out or getting, we do have three quotations, but we're not going that route. This is going to be awarded on the basis of an emergency to get the cleaning done.
So that would be National Water Main, right?
National Water Main is correct.
And that's the higher base amount and a lower tonnage amount.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's because we anticipate that there's going to be a substantial amount of debris taken.
We know there is. John Lynch has actually walked those pipes, and he knows there's several foot and a half or something with debris in
So
there.
the third part's going to be a third full, so it's going to be a lot of debris. It's 1,000 feet of pipe we're talking about, so.
Is it, when he says debris, is it
It's probably silt.
Is it silt,
could
or
be
is it solid, or
it's-
is it debris? Is it
It's
something that we could...
primarily going to be silt, I would guess, silt
Is it
rock.
something that we could put in our recycling center and mix it with
No,
the
no.
leaf compost or anything like that?
No, it's probably going to be sand and probably stone and that kind of material. And it's going to be very soupy and wet. That's why the per tonnage, it's better to go with the lower per tonnage disposal cost.
Okay. All right. Would somebody like to move the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
This is for 13,352 and 13,353 together?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you. Can we open this to the public very quickly?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any member of the public wish to discuss this emergency appropriation or any other issue affecting their interest?
He's already shaking his head.
Okay, can I have a motion to close the
So
hearing to the
moved.
public?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Thank you. All right, can I have a motion to adjourn the special meeting?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.